Mrs. Dudla's second grade class has so many people to thank for this book that we put together this year. Mr. Herzog for his great inspiration for the A to Z book, Mrs. Crossman for her endless help, Mrs. Lindsay's fourth grade editors and their expertise, Mrs. Mannix for her knowledge of our past and history, and also a big thanks to the willing presenters who helped us answer our inquiry questions about our precious lake, Captain Matthew Dow, Sergeant Joe Johns, David Wick, Lindsay Doyle. Thank you all so very much. Hope you enjoy it.
The Adirondack Mountains affect our lake. The mountains that surround the lake were formed by glaciers and moving soil over time. The rainwater that comes off the mountains feeds the lake and it erodes the mountains. The most local mountain to Lake George Village is Prospect Mountain. It used to have a hotel on the top. It used to have 5 ski trails. Now people hike up it. Those are some of the reasons why the mountains affect our lake. A is the appearance of pretty colors and tones. We try not to take for granted in this awesome Adirondack home.
Bandstands are somewhere that people perform. In places around Lake George, they have music festivals. Festivals are where people perform on bandstands. More tourists come here because they know that singers will perform on bandstands. That is all the things you need to know about bandstands. These were the big beat coming from the bandstand at one of the many beaches made from sand.
There are many kinds of birds in Lake George. The bald eagle is the national bird of the United States and can be seen here. Seeing a common loon is an icon of the Adirondacks. Seeing a waterfowl is a several members of the waterfowl family can be found around the lake. These are some few birds you can see on the lake. D is for Dog Beach and Diamond Port are places to go. Sit to see people you know, or to watch ducks and boats that float. D is for Dog Beach and Diamond Port are places to go to sit and to see people you know, or to watch ducks and boats that float. There are many kinds of birds in Lake George. The bald eagle is the national bird of the United States and can be seen here. Seeing a common loon is an icon of the Adirondacks. Seeing a waterfowl and several members of the waterfowl family can be found around on the lake. These are some few birds you can see on the lake.
This is the history of Elvis. Elvis had his first performance in 1960. There are festivals every year. It starts at 7 o'clock. These are the reasons why you can go to the Elvis Festival. Also, you can play at the park while watching the festival. E is for the excitement of Elvis bringing people to town. The exciting sound help people get down.
Fort William Henry was an old fort. In the French and Indian War, it lasted 7 years. The French helped the north side of Lake George protect their fort. In exchange, they fought together. Fort William Henry has a cannon fire at the top, but they do not fire real cannonballs. Those are some of the things you should know about the fort. F is for Fort William Henry, where our forefathers fought for our freedom.
There was a Lake George monster. His name was Georgie. It was a prank between 2 fishermen named Harry and Colonel. The fake one looks like red fangs and large eyes and a massive mouth. The fishermen decided to catch the biggest trout, so they made Georgie. Georgie was over 40 pounds, and no one knew it was just a lark.
Beach is for the hotels where happy people hang out. They walk to the lake and go fishing for trout. These are some interesting facts about fish. Read them. Lake George has two fishy bass, warm water fish such as perch bass and sunfish, and color water fish such as lake trout and salmon are found in the lake. There are 36 fish species in the lake shed. Yellow perch are identified by two dorsal fins, one spiny and the other soft rayed. Smallmouth bass are important game fish and provide anglers with outstanding fight. Lake trout, the largest trout native to North American, are highly sought by anglers. Those are some facts about fish.
Thank you.
The Winter Carnival takes place in Lake George. Every Sunday and Saturday in February, the Winter Carnival. There is snowmobile water stick cook-offs, LGWC parade, dog talent, and bonfires. These are some reasons to come to Lake George. Ice sculptures and ice slides and ice fishing. It's all impressive and expensive to do all your wishes. I is for ice sculptures and ice slides and ice fishing. It's all impressive and expensive to do all your wishes.
J is for the joy and memories families make as they come and visit our town and also our magnificent lake. There are a lot of boating rules on Lake George. These rules apply to all 86 public and private launches with a $500 fee for visitors that also inspect the boats that gone in the water. There has to be a life preserver with every passenger from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. The speed limit is 45 miles per hour. These are the 3 rules that you have to follow for boating on Lake George.
K is for the kids singing karaoke, which makes them cry and beg to go to see shows.
Here's some interesting facts about how Lake George got its name. Lake George was named by local Americans. Lake George used to be called Lac du Saint-Germain in 1755. William Johnson renamed it Lake George after King George II. During the French and Indian War, I bet you always thought it was Lake George. Except for Lake George, the name of our lake and village. Living on this lake is such a lovely privilege.
M is for the mountains surrounding our lake. It's also for our many monuments and memories people make. You could learn a lot about Lake George history by seeing the monuments. There are 3 monuments located at battlefield parks. One is the Battle of Lake George. Another monument is of the Arnold Soldier. The last is the monument of Sir Isaac Georges. He was the first white man to come to our area. You can find many monuments around the lake.
N is for nature. Near all that we see, Lake George is perfect for you and me. The formation of Lake George is interesting. The glaciers bulldozed, scraped, and crushed the landscape. This formed the lake that holds water. Also, water came from some of the ice left behind. The basin of the water is what we now call Lake George.
Outside the village where the outlets are, just go buy an outfit. It isn't that far. People come to Lake George so they can visit the outlets. There are 4 outlet centers. the log jam center, the Adirondack Outlet Mall, the outlets at Lake George, and the French Mountain Common. Common outlets. The outlets are open from 9:30 until 7:30 every day. 51 million shoppers visit the outlets every year.
Why do people come to Lake George? If you are looking for a good place to swim, Million Dollar Beach is the most popular and largest beach in Lake George. If you are looking for a good place to eat ice cream, the Pink Roof, which is 20 years old, is a great place for you and your family to enjoy ice cream. Wax and Wicks is a good place to know when you come to Lake George. It is open 4 to 6 hours a day. Hope you enjoy Lake George. P is for people walking the streets, going to Polish water ice performances, and eating sweets.
There are many pretty roads to get good views of the trees and the lake. On Route 9N, you can see mountains and mansions and see the lake. You can drive to the top of Prescott Mountain and see the lake. At top of the World Golf Resort, on top of French Mountain, you can see the lake. You should go to the 3 roads and see the lake. It's for questioning the quarters that go in the parking meter at the curb. While you quickly question your thirst, oh so quietly, you don't mean to disturb.
Lake George has lands in it. There are 120 islands in Lake George. You can go camping on 47 islands. The rest of the islands you can stop to have a picnic. One noticed island is carved in trees called the Dome Island. Come to Lake George so you can camp or have a picnic on some island. R is the raging river flowing over the round rock that hide between the rolling mountains just around my blocks.
These are some of the reasons why the steamboats built the lake. Did you know the Minnehaha went in the water of Lake George in 1969? Also, did you know the Minnehaha is a 1-hour ride? Also, the Mohican in 1894 to 1907 was a 93-foot wooden boat. The Mohican is a 5-hour ride today. Also, the Lake George Steamboat Company was founded in 1817, which makes the Steamboat Company 196 years old. So those are some of the reasons why steamboats make the community we live in. S is for soothing sand and steamboat fun, especially with sprinkles on ice cream in the sun. T is for turtles that crawl on land, then swim in water and rest on the sand. There is a Lake George turtle monitoring project. Some kinds of turtles in Lake George are called the painted turtle and the snapping turtle. There are 12 species of turtles around our area. Turtles have a bony shell and no teeth. Some turtles are washed and can be affected by pollution in the water caused by some factories. Overall, turtles are slow but interesting.
U is for the use of the water at Usher's Park Beach. You go to Up Yonder Farm, which certainly isn't out of reach. There are many beaches on Lake George. There are 4 beaches around the town. Lake George beaches offer gorgeous views of the lake, surrounded by the beautiful Adirondack Mountains. All beaches listed are directly on Lake George. Those are the reasons why there are many beaches on Lake George.
V is for visitors who come in day and night. They arrive in their vehicles, they stay out of sight, and make lists to do in that same night. Lake George provides lodging, dining, attractions, education, and shopping. And Lake George hotels are near and far from the lake if you want a hotel.
Near the lake, I suggest Fort William Henry Hotel. There are so many fun activities in Lake George Lake. Arcades, tubing, and the fun spot. There are so many places to shop, like the Adirondack Outlet Mall, which has a lot of stores in it. There are some individual stores like Frontier Town, Giftwood, and Molly Maturas. Those are some things you can do in Lake George.
Thomas Jefferson once said Lake George is without comparison the most beautiful water I've ever seen. The water is more than it looks. Lake George is among the cleanest and largest lake in New York. Lake George water is a source of drinking water. Runoff is the primary source of water at the lake. Lake George is known for its water and its size. W is for water that we use every day. We swim in it and always find something to play.
X is for the extra special places like Great Escape to spend some time, and one through the extraordinary Great Escape Lodge. It's where you go to relax your mind. The Great Escape has been a popular place for many years. It opened in 1954 under the name Startown. It was a place for kids and families. In 1984, Startown changed its name to Great Escape. In 1984, the Great Escape opened the Steamin' Demon, a 3-looped roller coaster, the first roller coaster in the park. The Great Escape is a great place to visit. Thank you.
If you are looking for a good place to go check out these cool things, if you are a grown-up, you should go to the Lake George Winery. You can taste wine all day for a good price. If you are looking for a good place to go as a family, go to Six Flags. Six Flags is a great place for kids and adults as well. If you are a kid, you definitely have to go to Martha's. They have over 30 flavors of ice cream. Now you know how to have fun in Lake George. Y is for yellow stoplights that makes you slow down as you see Goonie Gulf coming into our town, or the many yummy restaurants that won't make you frown. Come see our new zip line. The Eagle Flyer goes 125 feet in the air. It travels 3/4 of a mile. The speed is 50 miles an hour. You can choose which way to sit. You can sit normally or fly like an eagle, head first. Someone will drive you up French Mountain. To try it, get ready to fly. Z is for the zip line, all shiny and new. Wouldn't it be great if people really flew? Come to Lake George if you haven't a vacation clue. Who knows, someday we might even have a zoo.